It's me, Bunny Rabbit Lives. Hey yo. So I hope y'all can hear me. Um, I am coughing. Allergies. Um, so yes. I hope everyone's doing well. Actually, I gotta talk to y'all. I will be telling y'all about what happened the last, I want to say 3 days that I have been away. Because a lot has happened. Yeah. So for sure, I need to tell y'all. I mean, look, it was crazy, guys. Never, ever, ever, um, never, ever, ever use your handbrake without like lifting it slowly. Okay, that's all I have to say because, like, honestly, it's a little dangerous. Hello, Nunu. Hi. Hello, Azur. How are you doing? Are y'all doing good? I will be reading today for y'all, and luckily, so I have good news. I will be talking with y'all for like 5 minutes before I start reading for y'all. Spill the incident, okay? Okay, so this is what happened. I'm gonna summarize it, and then after I finish reading for y'all, I will like expand more on it. Just because yes, yeah, you know how cars have a handbrake? Definitely, guys, please be careful. So I missed stream when I said I was gonna stream it because my car literally broke down. Okay, so what happened was I was driving from where I live, and then halfway through to my other destination, my brakes freaking stopped working mid highway. I was like, aye, that's it. This is it for me. I'm passing away. I was shaking so bad, guys. Yes, please. Yes, the brakes broke down. Like, I was driving, right? And then I tried to slow down because, okay. So, what I heard while I was driving was something fall out of my car and then come back and hit my car, right? In the back. So, when I stopped driving, what had happened was, this man came, told me what was wrong with it, right? And wait, you just came to say hi. I can't stay long, but I just want to say hi. Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you want, all of my streams are archived, guys, so y'all can watch them later. Thank you. Thank God you're still alive after the incident, right? Like, look, I'll go into way more detail once I finish stream, but yes, and not only that. Whoa, please tell me y'all don't see that notification. Yep, y'all see the notification. Girl, I don't stop. Stop, I'm busy. Anyways, sorry for the notification. Anyways, yes, guys. So my car definitely broke down. Something about a capsule flying and then not being able to like brake at all. Honestly, that not just that, but I also like was spending time moving into my new apartment, which I did. I'm still unpacking, guys. We have a lot of stuff that we don't know like where to like put it. We need to get shelves and stuff or whatever. But anyways, more on that when I finish reading to y'all, okay? Yes, I saw that notification. Yeah, I don't know why it's notifying me. Like honestly, I'm gonna go through every single person I follow and just say do not notify. At least on this phone. Because I don't want y'all getting like interrupted or distracted. Thank you so much, JD. Yeah, no, it was very terrifying, guys. So, honestly, yes. Please be careful, guys. Now I know what y'all are here for. Y'all are here for the reading, okay? So, I will be continuing to read, and after I read a few chapters to y'all, I can go into more detail about what happened and how the apartment is still going and all that stuff, right? And then anything else that y'all may want to talk about. No worries, don't bother me with that notif. I am more worried about your condition, Bunny. I am fine. Thank goodness. I am thankfully very, very fine. 356 subscribers with 603 videos. Come on. We got to get you some donations. Hello, Nunu. Oh, damn it. Bro, why is my brain malfunctioning right now? Probably because I have not slept well because I just moved into the apartment. Hello, yo mama. How are you doing? With 603 videos. Come on, we gotta get some donations. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Eventually, not right now. I really want to get my effort put into this channel again before I start asking for anything because I want to I want to show through hard work and dedication and effort that you know, I care about y'all and the channel and what we have here together. Yeah, your mama became new accidentally. Look, my brain malfunctioned. Don't. I'm sorry. Okay, your mama. Oh, pollo de caldo. And I decided to get some fish. I didn't want to cook. I was tired today. I had a long day. Well, okay, yo mama, take all the rest you can right now while you can. Cause rest is always good, guys. Don't over rest either. But yes, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves and rest or work accordingly. You did 3 setups of weddings. Oh yeah, I bet summer's usually the busiest time. It's fine, Bunny. You deserve it. Already have put your time in. Yeah, but I took a long break because of like everything that was going on in the background and stuff. Hell yeah, guys. Hello, anime lover and Kirby. Oh no, I'm sorry about your cat dying. Pet loss is always hard. Just let yourself grieve it and you'll be okay. Yes, please like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like. Yes, rest in peace. Hello, Clifton. Hello. Guys, I'm about to start reading, okay? Make sure that y'all stay hydrated. And I hope y'all enjoy the story. And feel free to chat amongst yourselves and make each other feel better in terms of like, I'm sorry for your loss, animal lover cat. And I hope that we can, ease your suffering a little bit through this distraction of me reading to you for, a few hours or an hour or a few minutes. Yes, guys, please stay hydrated. I will be starting now. 1, 2, 3, go. Chapter 7. Andrew didn't know how he was meant to react. He'd never been one to break rules, at least not alone. But obviously he'd come because of Thomas. As he tried to get his heartbeat back under control, he looked at his hand. Only damp soil clung to his fingertips. No blood. Of course there was no blood. What the hell was he thinking? Andrew swallowed. I was looking for you? He hated that it came out as a question. Thomas left the darkening shade of the oak, his sketchbook dangling from his hand, charcoal smudged near his mouth. It was painful how Andrew noticed Thomas's mouth like that. The dying afternoon light turned the tips of his auburn curls to simmering fire, and oh, there was a wildness about him. This boy made of angular frowns and thorny words. He was brilliant and terrible and unmanageable. Thomas's odd flash of anger faded, and guilt ghosted across his eyes. He picked his way across the molted roots toward Andrew. His foot slipped once, and he flung out both arms to steady himself, sketchbook pages flapping in his grip. When he leaped off the last root and landed unsteadily, Andrew couldn't help the compulsion to snatch the front of Thomas's shirt and ground them both. But it was Thomas who took Andrew by the shoulder. Propelled him away from the oak. His grip was careful, as if Andrew was a fragile thing, easily hurt, especially out here. away from school walls and protective fences. Thomas's breath came too fast. Don't do this again, all right? Don't come out here. You shouldn't be here either, Andrew said. Usually you want me to break rules with you. A strange hollowness stole over Thomas's face. Let's just go back. What were you even doing? Nothing. They fell into step as they walked toward the fence. Thomas still had fingers hooked in Andrew's shirt as if he was the one dragging Andrew away from bad decisions. What happened today? Andrew said. Why did the police keep you for so long? Thomas didn't answer. Light drained from the sky and the ground turned uneven and treacherous in the shadows. Andrew kept waiting to see puddles of stagnant blood, but there was nothing. He truly imagined it, but it felt like something was watching them leave, hungry eyes marking their footfalls and tracing the shapes of their shoulder blades. He almost thought he heard the hiss of flesh scraping against tree oak and thick, congested breathing. A furtive glance over his shoulder showed only the forest watching their retreat with empty eyes. By the time they reached the fence, both were sweaty and breathing quicker. The forest had left green smudges on Thomas's white school shirt, and he looked unruly, collar popped, and trousers muddied. It would be hard to hide where he'd been. Climb. Thomas had a brittle edge to it. Oh, climb. Thomas's voice had a brittle edge to it. Andrew obeyed. He deserved answers, though. Even if he had no stubbornness of his own, he could pretend he had some of Dove's. He waited till they'd run back across the athletic fields and into the rose gardens before he spoke again. The windows glowed with soft, warm light, and the dinner bell must have sounded. There would be a head count. Marks against names if they didn't show. But Andrew couldn't let this pass. He stopped walking. Thomas ducked under a wicker arch of vines before realizing Andrew wasn't following. He spun back to see Andrew planted with arms folded, his mouth in the tight angle he'd seen on Dove. The way Thomas looked at him was half despair, half frustration. Tell me what's going on, Andrew said. Thomas checked the garden, but there was no one out here except them, though Andrew couldn't shake the feeling from the forest. The feeling of being watched by something not yet fed. Thomas sighed, walked back, and leaned against the low garden wall. My parents are officially starring in a missing persons case. Okay, Andrew said. And I, Thomas said as the twilight painted his eyes black. I'm a person of interest. Andrew stared. What? Why? Thomas shrugged and tossed his sketchbook onto the wall. He hauled himself up and sat there, drumming his heels. They tested the blood and confirmed it's from two people. They said at least one person could not have walked out after losing that much. His voice sounded flat. You know how my house is at the end of a cul-de-sac? Well, nosy people can see into the front rooms. Some neighbor heard screaming, saw us arguing, and saw me. He kicked the wall hard then. Saw me with, and I quote, a knife. But there's no hard proof. It's my word against his. Andrew's stomach had cramped so tight it took effort to push words out. Then what really happened? Nothing. Regular family argument. Then I left for school. He couldn't look at Andrew. Lying. He was lying. Thomas's shoulders hunched forward and he rocked himself before hitting the wall with an open palm. Once, twice, vicious. Andrew thought of the scars Thomas hid, the brutal stories he delivered, the jokes. The way it took nothing to convince him to drink, how distraught caged his heart. How once he'd said all parents slap their kids around sometimes. Andrew had said no, they didn't. Thomas had looked genuinely surprised, and it had gutted Andrew. Thomas's parents had a lot to answer for. A strange calm unspooled over Andrew. He let out a breath, long and slow. "I don't care, you know," he said. "If you did." Thomas went still. Time slowed, rusty gears caught and shuddering. Andrew's words suddenly felt wrong in the air. Thomas's voice came so low it shook. "What the fuck did you just say?" Andrew's feet had grown into the path. His heart turned to petrified wood in his chest. Thomas slid slowly off the wall. "You know me the best of anyone, but you think the same as they do? You think I'm a murderer?" The last word came out in a hissed rage, so poisonous it could rot bones. Andrew had no words inside him. "Do you think I murdered my parents and buried them in the backyard? Because..." Thomas jabbed a finger toward the school. "That's what they think. They've got less than nothing to accuse me with and no evidence, but that's still what they think." There had been blood on his shirt that first day of school, and no wound. "I'm sorry," Andrew whispered. "Take it back if you're sorry." Thomas snatched his sketchbook and stood there with anger radiating from him. Even in the dark, he flushed red to the tips of his ears. He did that when he was embarrassed or furious, but mostly when he lied. The air had been empty between them for too long. Andrew hadn't rushed to fill it because he'd meant what he'd said, and he didn't think he'd spoken wrong. He'd only meant to reassure. Yeah, there are swear words here. He reached out a hand uselessly. Thomas jerked away. "This is why I can't talk to you about anything real. It either freaks you out, so you turn into a goddamn mess, or you respond in the most screwed up way possible." It hit like a punch. This wasn't happening. This didn't happen. They didn't fight. Make it stop. It had to stop. "This is when I need Dove." Thomas's eyes were bright, and a storm wearing itself out. Andrew hardly recognized his own voice, raw with bitterness he never showed. "Go be with Dove, then." Thomas looked stunned. He was shaking apart. Or maybe that was Andrew. Andrew, who was tipping toward a steep cliff overlooking an endless chasm, had no wings. He'd fall and die, and he'd do so in silence. He'd never made Thomas look at him like this, with rage or hurt, or something worse. Betrayal. When Thomas finally spoke, he sounded calm and terrible. "I'm walking away from you now, and I'm not coming back." The world was melting around Andrew, like a sword had been driven up to the hilt in his stomach. He wanted to whisper, "Wait." He couldn't survive this. Couldn't be left alone out here when the forest felt far too eerily close. As if the hungry foulness of whatever had watched them was attracted by this fight. Thomas turned, one hand in his pocket, the other holding his sketchbook, like it was a dead thing he wished he'd buried in the woods. He walked away. Inside Andrew, the world was ending. He was breathing too fast, and yet not at all. He should never have spoken, even if he had meant it. But no one who was innocent needed to be so violently defensive. When Andrew awoke, Thomas had already left for breakfast. Thomas knew how to say screw you in very specific ways, courtesy of having roomed with Andrew for most of their time at Wickwood and knowing him too well. It started with this: the soundless escape from their room. So Andrew would wake late, eating early so Andrew would risk breakfast alone if he couldn't find Dove. The way he'd pulled his mess over to his side of the room in a very clear line, usually his art supplies and knotted up jeans and scrunched paper balls wandered all over the floor. Yeah, Thomas is super mad. That's so sad. They were besties. Worst was the return of an old, well-thumbed notebook. Andrew had written in years ago, and Thomas had squirreled away for inspiration. It lay flung on Andrew's bed, pages sagging with rejection. Andrew felt sick as he dressed, his fingers shaking on the buttons of the white-collared shirt. He took too long messing with his tie and couldn't get it straight. He covered the bad attempt with a vest instead of the forest green wickwood jacket. It was too warm for wool and layers yet, but he deserved to suffer. He always ruined everything. Oh. They never fought like this. He'd bicker with Dove all day long, but he took more care with Andrew. If they argued, Thomas would end the day by thumping onto Andrew's bed to demand a discussion on fairy tale lore and the best way to describe a monster to fix things between them. Andrew needed it, and hated that he did. It never stopped making him feel small, the way Thomas had to nurse his anxiety. It lived between them. This knowledge that Andrew couldn't cope, and so Thomas took care of it. Right up until he didn't want to anymore. Andrew skipped breakfast and went through morning classes with his skin turned inside out. He slumped at his desk, unable to focus on lessons or take notes. Everyone else seemed uninterested in their work as well. They were too busy staring at Thomas. Did you hear about Rye? He totally killed his parents. The school festered with gleeful horror as juicy gossip swapped hands. The students shouldn't know about it at all, but plenty of them had faculty parents to eavesdrop on, and a quick Google search confirmed the Rye's disappearance. Fame followed Thomas's parents in a glamorous haze. Their work eccentric and coveted, and their vanishing meant something. Thomas did not look okay. His face had gone pale under his freckles, and he zoned out in every class, not even doodling as he usually did. Gone were the paint-stained fingertips, the pencil shavings clinging to his clothes, the sketchbook he always had on hand, as if he'd lost all interest in doing the thing he loved most. He needed his best friend right now. Not this icy... No, no, not humping the... What? No! Thumping, like plopping onto it, you know? Not the icy silence between them. Especially when Andrew... Yeah, like thumping, like thump. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes. Especially when Andrew would accept anything he did and never judge or hate him. But Thomas had only heard, "I think you're a murderer too." Andrew should have said nothing. He needed Thomas, but he'd always known Thomas didn't need him in the same way. Andrew splashed water over his face at lunch and told himself to pull it together. Wait this out. Accusations about his parents would fade because no one had proof Thomas had done anything wrong. Yeah, yeah. But just to be safe, Andrew used the thin slip of free time during lunch to duck back to their dorm room and burrow around in the dirty laundry until he found that bloodied shirt Thomas had worn on the first day of school. He crouched there, his fingers tracing the brown stains, and told himself this meant nothing. But what if the cops ordered a search of Andrew bundled up the shirt and hurried downstairs with it cradled close to his stomach like something wounded, something alive. He burst outside and hurried around the back of the dorms. It didn't take long to dig the hole in the damp soil beneath the rose bushes. Muck rimmed his fingernails, stained his palms, but he kept going a little deeper, to be safe. Worms wriggled out of the soft dirt, flexing lurid, pink bodies, to tangle with his fingers until he shook them off in disgust. He shoved his hand into the hole for another scoop of dirt, and teeth sank into his palm. No! He got bit! Andrew cried out and tried to jerk his hand free, but it wouldn't come. For a wild, panicked second, he couldn't think past the pain jolting into his flesh and that claustrophobic feeling of being trapped, needing to get away, can't move, can't. The teeth slid out of his skin, smooth as a needle, suturing flesh. Andrew snatched his hand from the hole, mud plastered to his palm, and beetles crawling over him as if looking for an open wound to burrow into. He wiped them off on his pants, his heartbeat rabbiting in his chest, and his breath coming in uneven gasps. He stared at his unblemished skin and then darted a glance into the hole. Empty. No animal coiled there. Nothing with teeth. Yeah. Yeah. There was blood on the shirt. That's why he's trying to hide the shirt, because he's trying to help his friend out. Calm down, he hissed to himself, fierce and shamed. He massaged his palm, pain a ghost thing lingering at the edge of his nerves, while his mitt folded over those hot seconds of trapped terror as if they didn't happen. Oh, mind. While his mind folded over those hot seconds of trapped terror as if they didn't happen. Nothing could have bitten him. There wasn't even a mark. He stuffed the shirt into the hole and shoved soft, cloying soil over the top. Everything would be back to normal soon. Yes, I will drink some water now. You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm. There we go. There we go. It rained all of next week. Thomas left the library when Andrew walked in. He was never in their dorm room. In the afternoons, he'd straight up vanished. He even managed to leave for the bathroom just as they were being assigned pairs for chemistry lab, and Andrew ended up with someone he didn't know. He spent the whole time trying to squeeze words through his closed-up throat. Their week continued like this. Thomas would spend lunch time in detention for mouthing off to a teacher while Andrew holed up in the library with Dove and listened to her rambling analysis of the book she was annotating for English as if nothing were wrong. At gym, the class divided between swimming and running laps. Andrew ran. Thomas disappeared into the pool. Homework and extracurriculars devoured the weekend as the intensity of senior year gained momentum. Andrew's eyes already felt full of paper dust and broken sentences. His assignments slashed in red ink. The gaping hole Thomas left behind was filled with an inordinate amount of study sessions with Dove. Not Andrew's idea of a good time, especially with Dove already sinking into frenzied study fervors and micromanaging his work. He couldn't even tell her about his fight with Thomas because the words bunched like razors in his mouth. Maybe Thomas had been right, and Andrew was deeply messed up. It had just taken 5 years for Thomas to notice. And now that he didn't even want to sleep in the same room. Every night, Andrew woke alone to silence. Thomas's empty blankets tangled up and their window open. Dawn would bring wet footprints and leaves tracked across the floor. So it was obvious where he went. What? Thomas's empty blankets tangled up and their window open. Dawn would bring wet footprints and leaves tracked across the floor, so it was obvious where he went. He slumped in class, with dirt still smudged along his jaw and dark circles under his eyes. When Andrew noticed Dove looked the same, forest dirt clinging to her shoes as she stifled John's while they studied, he understood. Go be with Dove, then. And Thomas had obeyed. People only sneak into the forest at night for one reason. Andrew kept checking his face in the mirror to make sure nothing showed, to make sure he swallowed his shattered feelings like glass. He rested his palm flat against the mirror and tried to count each of his delicate scars. He didn't break anything. He decided, oh so quietly, to avoid them both in return. Except they didn't notice his cold shoulder. He let it stretch a week, then two. He had never been this alone. Hello, Thomas? Hi! Welcome! I'm reading for y'all right now. On Thursday, Andrew skipped afternoon tutoring on the grounds of having a stomachache. Not a lie, since he did feel like he'd swallowed handfuls of cement. No one had spoken to him all day. No one even seemed to see him, so it was with a hollow sense of desperation that he made the call while trudging up the stairs to his dorm room. How are you doing? How are you doing, Thomas? He expected to be sent to voicemail or worse, hear a perky secretary's voice answer. But for once, his father actually picked up. For real, now we need Andrew. Hell yeah. Invite him, guys, invite him. But for once, his father actually picked up. Hey, kiddo. Noise thrummed in the background as if he'd taken the call in a busy office. Holding up? Andrew leaned against the banister, adjusting his heavy armload of textbooks, and breathed in the musky silence. Most students were in after-class extracurriculars, leaving the dorm empty and Andrew, the sole specter left, to haunt the halls. Not really. Andrew hated how rusty he sounded. The background noise over the phone grew louder and then dimmed suddenly, as if his father had stepped out of the meeting. He sounded distracted. It's not a great time for me right now, kiddo. But how about we pencil in a chat for this evening? If Andrew opened his mouth, he might laugh hysterically. Hello, Commando! How are you doing? Are you doing good? Yeah. That's what this book is about, so... just kidding. Y'all will see. I made a playlist for this whole live reading thing, so if y'all are interested, it's somewhere, so yes. I put the link on there. Ready? His best friend had abandoned him. He felt so sick he couldn't think straight. Creepy things kept crawling fingers up his spine in ways that were definitely not real, but also definitely something. And his father wanted to pencil in time to tact. He hadn't always been this way between them. It hadn't always been this way between them. Once, his father and Andrew and Dove had been an infallible trio. The three of them all each other hand in the world after their mother had walked out. Wait. The three of them all each other had in the world after their mother had walked out. The twins had been a mistake, though no one said that out loud. An accident between a French boy studying abroad in Australia for his final year of university and a Sydney girl who realized raising babies was not her thing. His father's parents had been rich, the kind of rich that when they died, they left their estranged son a small fortune that took him from living in a dank apartment and feeding his 11-year-old twins tinned spaghetti to driving a BMW and becoming an internationally respected investor. Lately, his father didn't seem to have time to remember he had kids. Yeah, no, actually, this is chapter 8. This is chapter 8 already. But I think that's the only thing I will maybe. Nah, I might have to read one more, or I might leave the rest of the time to chatting with y'all. Yeah. BMW and becoming an internationally respected investor. Lately, his father didn't seem to have time to remember he had kids. Andrew didn't know why he'd called his father. What did he even want? His father to suggest he change schools, transfer home to Australia? Dragging Dove away from Wickwood would be a special sort of selfish. Yeah, that would be good, Andrew managed to say. Great. His father acted like he was on a business call, not talking to his son. And classes are going okay? You're sleeping? Eating? Did you talk to the school counselor? Andrew, who wasn't doing any of those things, said, Yup. Good job, son. Talk soon. Love you. Wrote words. His father had ended the call almost before he finished saying them. Andrew let himself into his dorm room and dumped his books on the floor, wanting to throw his phone or bite his tongue till it bled, or Thomas? He lay starfished on his bed in dim shorts, shirt off. His curls stuck to still glistening cheeks. It didn't look like a lazy afternoon nap. He was so out of it that he didn't even twitch at Andrew's entrance. He looked softer when he slept, almost sweet. But he'd been crying. The urge to go to him nearly ended Andrew right there. Thomas was so not okay. But he was the one cutting Andrew out. They'd barely been in the same room for 2 weeks. You could sleep at night instead of sneaking out of the forest, you know, Andrew said since he wouldn't be heard. Aren't you meant to be at soccer practice right now? Or a study group instead of, studying Dove all the time? Thomas really had the most perfect back. Freckles pattering all the way down his spine. But all Andrew could focus on was that deep, wine-colored scar on his shoulder. The missing parents who put it there. Andrew loosened his tie and opened his wardrobe to look for a soft sweater since uniforms weren't required after classes ended. For the record, I don't think you killed anyone. You would have been caught by now. You suck at planning. Andrew tossed his shirt onto the hamper, proud that he sounded factual and unemotional. He was using his voice, buffing off the rust. The real question is, why are you hiding what The real question is, why are you hiding what really happened? You're protecting someone. You hate your parents too much to cover for them, so you must be protecting you. Andrew spun around, smacking his head on the wardrobe door so hard he yelped. Thomas stretched out on his bed like a sun-warmed cat. He must have scrubbed his face with the sheets because his cheeks looked reddened now, not damp. Maybe Andrew had imagined the tear tracks. He watched Andrew with half-lidded eyes, his voice smoky with sleep. Thanks for analyzing my success rate of being a murderer. They were talking again. Andrew's heartbeat skipped. What do you mean protecting me? By not talking to you. He groaned as he rolled off the bed and snatched up a wickwood sweatshirt. You're safe for not talking to me. That's bullshit, Andrew said, strangely calm. As if we both don't know what it is to deal with rumors. Dang, I read that so wrong. Wait, let me do it better. That's bullshit, Andrew said, strangely calm. As if we both don't know what it is to deal with rumors. Thomas rubbed a palm against his eye and flinched. That was when Andrew noticed the blisters all over Thomas's hands. Yeah, there's swear words in here. Cuts riddled his legs too, from running in the dark forest. I'll say sorry, Andrew said. I'll say whatever you want. Thomas made a derisive sound. Ugh. I just listened to you say I'm too stupid to get away with murder. Maybe stop talking. Desperation had Andrew by the throat, and he should have stayed obediently quiet, but he couldn't. Anyone could be a monster, in the right circumstances, motivated by the right thing, to protect someone else or to protect yourself. Is it that wrong to fight for yourself if no one else will? Thomas went for the door. He had no shoes on, and his hair looked electrified, eyes unfocused. I need some space. He sounded tired. No malice left. Self-defense isn't murder. Andrew knew he was babbling, but he didn't want him to leave. Not that you did anything, but I don't see why you're so upset when they abused you. They don't abuse me. Accidents happen. Oh, sure. Accidents happen again and again and leave scars. Thomas cast him a sour look. I would do something terrible if I had to protect someone, Andrew said, desperately wishing he could shut up. I'd do anything for Dove. Or you. But Thomas didn't answer. He only slammed the door behind him. Andrew punched the door. Just once. Every bone in his fingers screamed, and he had to shake out his hand and pace their small room to calm down. His heart raced with pure panicked adrenaline. He was losing Thomas, watching him slip between his fingers and sink into the earth. Roots would grow over his face and dirt would fill his mouth, and he'd be lost forever. Andrew snatched his notebook and wrote out the story he'd been stewing over for days. He ripped out the page, and the ragged edges matched his ragged breathing. He tacked it to the window so that the next time Thomas opened it to sneak out, he'd have to read it. The story meant nothing. Just another vignette? But maybe Thomas would draw it, and that would be like talking again. Not that Thomas even had a sketchbook around anymore. Drawing was the reason he breathed. The thing he craved whenever a pencil was snatched from his fingertips. Something was eating Thomas alive if it distracted him from his art. Once upon a time, there lived a woodcutter who crept into an enchanted forest and took his axe to an enchanted tree. It was said a log from here would burn bright and merry forever. Indeed, the woodcutter spent a comfortable night roasting apples with no care in the world. But the next morning, he found the enchanted forest had come walking. Acres of trees surrounded his cottage, all crying bloody tears. He ran through the forest, but could not find his way out. All he found were trees weeping blood and blood and blood. Yeah, guys, that's intense. This is 9. I can read 9, and then I can chat the rest of the time. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, guys. Chapter 9. Yeah, it's a story that he wrote for his friend. Okay, so ready? 1, 2, 3, go. The afternoon air felt raw and bloody. Andrew put all his hate into every swing of his tennis racket and got reprimanded twice about control. The coach liked him, though. He was a very short, very French man who pronounced Perrault correctly. Perrault, not Perrault. Oops. Perrault. Perrault. Okay. Perrault? Perro? What? He kept pushing Andrew to practice more, eat more, start lifting weights, all things Andrew had no interest in doing. He only played tennis because Wickwood required a sport. He just had the misfortune to be semi-good at it. Hence why the coach kept pairing him with the other top player, Bryce Kane. You serve kitty cat? Bryce's hair glowed. What? You serve kitty cat. Bryce's hair glowed in a perfect wave above his sweatband, and he grinned with perfect white teeth. He should have been beautiful, but a foulness sat beneath each smug grin. He'd never been in trouble a day in his life, and he basked in knowing he never would be. Why are you so distracted today? Bryce twirled his racket. I mean, Rye isn't here for you to perv at, so someone else caught your eye? He put a hand to his chest. Me? Andrew bounced the tennis ball. Too bad I'm taken. Bryce made a pouting face and fluttered his eyelashes. You'll just have to blow Rye in your free time. Oh my god. What the... Anyways, Andrew served with enough violence that the ball shot past Bryce before he even lifted his racket. Bryce lost the point and his eyes flashed dark. The coach's whistle sounded as he strode over. Focus, young man. I want to see practice, not chatter. Pearl. Pearl. Andrew turned stiffly, and the coach clapped him on the shoulder. Keep this energy up and you will play in the November tournament. No offense, Bry called across the net, but he doesn't have the stamina. Give it 15 minutes and then I'll beat him every time. Start eating more, oui? The coach said, voice warm. Do the weights, footwork, be faster. We are in agreement? I'm actually going to be an author. Andrew directed it at the ground. And I wanted to be Picasso. The coach looked unfazed, and as he steered Andrew... Sorry, guys, I'm getting kind of distracted. And I wanted to be Picasso. The coach looked unfazed as he steered Andrew back toward the net. It is better to study law, play tennis, than kiss many beautiful women. Bryce barked a laugh. Andrew served hard. Bryce returned the ball, and the real fight began. The coach strutted off to enthusiastically harass someone else. Something shifted in Andrew's pocket, and he nearly missed the next serve. His pocket had been empty when he dressed, but maybe it was a note from Thomas. He often smuggled drawings to Andrew and Dove, and they'd find them during a tedious class and end up smiling. Maybe it was forgiveness in charcoal and ink. But then Andrew's pocket shifted again, pressing against his thigh in a way that felt less like a folded note and more like an earthy clump of... A shudder barreled down Andrew's spine, and his body twitched. His pocket felt wrong, warm and soft and doughy, and the ball hit him right in the face. Andrew felt it in his teeth. Pain exploded across his face. Air punched from his lungs as he went blind in a white-hot blaze. His racket slipped from the nerveless fingers. He bent double as he cupped his nose and let blood pour between his fingers. Holy shit! Feet running. Bryce's shadow loomed over him. That was an accident. Why'd you stop swinging? You idiot! Coach! Andrew thought about punching Bryce so hard he ate the tennis court. Instead, he dragged one bloody hand from his face and reached into his pocket. His fingers dug into something spongy. He squinted through tears at the mess in his hand. What the hell? Bryce said. Why are there mushrooms in your pocket? The fungi crumbled between Andrew's fingers. His mouth opened in confusion, blood running across his lips. He yanked out another handful, but his pocket still bulged with the fleshy, rotting mess. The smell of foul forest everywhere. This didn't make sense. How could he have dressed without feeling it? He dug out another handful and threw it on the ground. He wiped his hands on his shorts, but the mess didn't come off. The coach ran over, rattling off French expletives as he tilted Andrew's face up. Not broken, but you shall go to the nurse. I'm fine. Andrew swiped the back of his hand across his mouth. Everything throbbed. The bathroom done. Go clean up. The coach whirled on Bryce. What was that? Andrew escaped while Bryce received his deserved scolding. Andrew found no joy in it, though, because his skin was crawling. Had Thomas put rotten mushroom in Andrew's pocket? The indoor pool building held the locker rooms. Of course, Wickwood had a private pool, and the bathrooms were always crowded this time of the afternoon. But then Andrew stumbled inside. Perfect silence swathed the boys' bathroom. His tennis shoes squeaked on the white tiles, and blood dripped in a perfect line behind him, each drop as round as a marble. He stumbled to the sinks, already grabbing at his pocket again. His shorts felt dragged half down his hips from the weight of it, but he'd emptied. His pocket was full again, bursting at the seams. The mushrooms were growing. He dug out more fleshy muck and threw it in the trash. Then more and more. His heart crawled into his throat and he began to shake. He couldn't find a way this made sense. He had to calm down. He was breathing too fast. Stop, and breathe. It had to be some weird super fungus. Gross, but explainable. He looked at his hands, stained brown, and tried to wipe it off. It clung to his skin, blooming there as it traced up the blue lines of his veins. Please, stop doing this. His voice fractured, and he didn't even know who he was talking to. The lights flicked off, then on, and Andrew flinched. He snatched paper towels and scrubbed at his fingertips. Shit! It didn't come off. He threw the towels aside and started scratching at and then peeling at the mushroom on his fingers. It came off like a sucking mouth that left behind red welts. He flung the shed mess on the floor with a moan and stumbled back. People should be in here. Where was the swim team? He needed witnesses. He needed Thomas to see this so he knew he wasn't going insane. The air felt wrong, alive, breathing. It felt like the first day back at school. The thing in the foyer with lips and fervor tongue against his neck. Pleasure, horror, lovely, horror. Open your pretty mouth for me. No! A stall door jerked open somewhere behind him. Andrew's heart punched against his ribs hard enough to bruise. Hello? For the first time in his life, he did not freaking care who walked in and saw his bloodied face. with fungi crawling up his arm as he had the mental breakdown of a lifetime. Please be Thomas. But no one turned the corner. Another stall door slammed so hard it crashed against the wall. Andrew's heart crawled up his throat. Sweat slicked on the back of his neck, and suddenly he couldn't breathe. He couldn't. He took a step backward, then another. Then he ran for the last toilet and locked himself inside. Somewhere down the row of stalls, another door slammed, then another, like gunshots against the stillness. The breathing grew heavier. Something scratched against the stall doors with a high-pitched shriek, then silence. Andrew wiped his nose, smearing blood up his cheek. His eyes blurred as he swallowed hard. This wasn't happening. Whatever it was, it couldn't be happening. He squished himself onto the closed toilet lid and pulled his knees to his chin, and tried not to hyperventilate. Above him, electricity crackled along the fluorescent lights, and they snapped off again. On, off. The darkness fell absolute. I crawled over his arms and pinned him there. No air to even scream. Another stall door slammed. Slam. It would get to him next. He'd locked the door, but he had to choose to believe it wasn't happening. Couldn't be happening. It was all in his head. In the green glow from the emergency exit sign, legs appeared under Andrew's stall door. They were hard to distinguish, half eaten by the dark, but he could tell they were slender and furred. A senior prank, it had to be. They hoped to make him piss his pants, and then they'd laugh about it for weeks. He couldn't get through that. He knew what it was to be a target and survive. His mouth trembled, too soft, too sensitive. Pathetic. Panic bricked up his lungs. He just wanted this to be over. Bang! Fist against the door. It shuddered. The legs shuffled and made two sharp, clear taps, like iron horseshoes on tiles. Andrew forced himself to peer under the door. Hooves. Each leg ended in perfectly round hooves. Oh, hell no! What the fuck? Hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh my god. Fingernails scratched against the stall lock. The lock began twisting slowly. Slowly. Just a little more, and more, and more, and he was whispering out loud now, a numb prayer, crushing his face to his knees. Please, please, leave me alone. Andrew. His head snapped up, body jolting backward with nowhere to go. Dove was there. What the fuck? He had no idea how she'd opened the stall door and slipped in so silently. Her skin glowed green against the emergency lights, her lips in a line of cold fury, the kind she wore when she wanted to absolutely end someone for picking on her brother. She took his hands and squeezed. He shook so hard. Come on, I'll get you out of here. But the thing... He broke off with a sound halfway between a sob and a curse. The hoofed legs had vanished, but the breathing hadn't. Thick and grasping, now coming from across the bathroom. Ready, Dove whispered. Set, go! They burst out of the stall together. She held on to him so tightly he felt like a paper kite on a string flying behind her. Hot breath hit the back of Andrew's neck. He could feel it crawling down his spine. It smelled of mold and of spoiled meat. Andrew let out a strangled cry as Dove howled open the door, and they stumbled outside. He stumbled into afternoon sunlight and fell onto his knees on the grass. Bile rose up from his throat, and he gagged on the blood slick against his teeth, on the wrongness of it all. It's just a panic attack, Dove sounded so far away. Two juniors turned the corner, laughing in Joel's sting. but they broke off when they saw the twins. Whoa, said one, while the other asked, are you okay? Don't go in there. Andrew wiped the blood from his mouth. Don't. One of them immediately pushed the door open. Andrew tried to get to his feet to save them somehow, but he couldn't feel his bones, couldn't stand, couldn't think, couldn't. There's legit nothing in here. Something in Andrew's chest gave a sickening swoop. He didn't realize until that moment how scared he'd been that none of it had been real. But how could it be real? Andrew, you goddamn fool! Dove patted his hair anxiously, no condemnation or embarrassment on her expression. He hated the pity, the lines around her tight mouth that said, "My brother's having a meltdown over nothing again." It only took moments for a crowd to gather. Someone had gone for a teacher, and the track team had begun filling in from their run. People stared at Andrew with a mixture of pity and embarrassment, not quite sure if they should offer help or put distance between themselves and this mess. Andrew focused on his trembling hand, but they didn't feel attached to him. He would cry soon, he knew it, in front of all these teens who were already staring. Words volleyed back and forth over his head as Dove fumbled an abridged explanation that would make sense, but they both knew she couldn't salvage this. "He's not feeling well," Dove said, steel in her tone. "That's all." "It was just some shitty prank, Pearl," someone said. "You're fine." Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so. Andrew couldn't catch his breath. There was this thing in there. It wasn't a prank. It was real. But he cut off, knowing he needed to stop before he made himself look worse. He was losing his goddamn mind. Damn, guys. Alright. That's it, guys. I'll leave the rest for later. That's crazy. Am I right? What do y'all think? Oh, my goodness. That was crazy. For sure. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Phone fell. I'm trying to make it to where it can stand right, but I don't know if I'll be able to do that so that y'all can see me and stuff. But yeah. Oh god. I fell once again. I think it's this at the bottom. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. I need some water. Let's see what y'all said while I was reading. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I don't really, I've never actually snuck around as a teen. I was a goody two shoes, but also naughty. You know, if sneaking out of lunch is considered sneaking out of something, then I did sneak around. My bad. Bunny loves swear words with emotion. Yeah. You gotta put some emphasis on there. Stop talking, but Andrew, Bunny is reading for us, right? It's getting intense. Yeah, it got super intense, guys. Like, I wonder what the next chapter is gonna bring to us, you know? Yeah, he wrote that story for Thomas because he was like upset and stuff. Yeah, yeah. I lose concentration sometimes when I misspell words and stuff. Nice, yo, mama. I'm glad you're finding it very nice. You know what I mean? Author and Picasso, wow. Yeah, like those are dreams that people have. It cost you 25 bucks your fish? Oh my god. Yes, you whoa, that's expensive. Holy moly. Yeah, the super fungus thing was scary. Like it's like a panic attack. Like he was having like a panic attack, but it was like because of what was going on. And I think it wasn't really a hallucination, honestly. That's what I think. Yeah, I used to read actually, I never if I read any poetry, I would read the ones that I would write cuz I used to write poetry back in the day. But I stopped. I have a bunch of different hobbies, guys. Hot sauce? Oh, Valentina? Eh. Hello. Hello, yo mama. I can hear you. Yes. Now continue with the accident with your car. Oh yeah, the accident with my car. You bet. Only a little bit. Only a little. Oh, nice. I made it really a Mexican cuisine. Nice. More like Cubano. The only accident that I got with a family car was when my sister accidentally hit the acceleration pedal inside garage when I gave her instruction to turn on the car. Oh my god. Oh my god. Back in the day, when I would get nervous, right? Instead of pressing the brake, I would press the accelerator or press the accelerator instead of the brakes. So, but now I've gotten better about that, and like, I've been driving years now, so. But I get you. That must have been super scary for you. So if y'all want to hear what happened, okay, so I think it was Friday. Friday I moved into the apartment, right? On Saturday, we were still moving stuff in. And then on Sunday, I was like, hey, we need help finishing moving stuff in. So I went to my parents, and midway to my parents on the highway, my capsule or whatever fell off, right, of my car mid highway, right? It falls off, it hits my car again after hitting the ground, and then it breaks the place where you're supposed to have the breaker fluid, so even the brake fluid spills out. And after that, so I get home, right? I try to turn, it gets all wobbly because I can't slow down, right? So I have to like stop right before I made my turn to get home, right? Well, I wasn't right on my way home, but it was like, just like I would say 10 miles before I reached home or something like that. Something short. I don't know. And then this religious man comes in out of nowhere, right? No, first this white truck comes in, and this man pushes my car into safety because I was stopped in the middle of the road, right? Pushes my car to safety, leaves me there. I was like, dang, okay. So I waited, and then I called the insurance, right? And the insurance was really nice. I really appreciated it. Um, they helped me, right? They sent me a tow truck, right? The tow truck, they said 1 hour, right? I waited an hour, right? Then it said wait another hour, and I was like, dang, okay, let's keep waiting. And then this religious man comes in, and he looks at my car, and he starts talking to me about God and stuff, and he puts his Bible in my car and stuff, and he's like, oh, I know what happened to your car. I looked at it. Okay, so the capsule flew off, then the piston flew off, and then that hit your breaker fluid thing, and then all the breaker fluid's gone now, so this is your last capsule. And he gave me in my hand the capsule, and I was like, bro, I don't even know what this is, but thank you. And yeah, yeah. No, it wasn't. I didn't wait on the highway. I was like in well, that is considered a highway, honestly, but I was like on a main road, where like trucks and trailers and stuff like that or whatever pass by, or to get to whatever destination. And then after that, I had to wait another hour, and I was getting annoyed, right? So I was like, dang. And I had been waiting since 2 p.m., right? So what happened was, I had to wait another hour after that. So I went to the gas station walking, right? And then by the time I got out, it was raining. I was like, bro, it couldn't get any worse. It can't. And then again, I waited another hour and it was like, oh, you gotta wait another hour. So I got mad and I was like, okay, I need a new one. I need a new one. Because I called them and I was like, hello, I just want to know, like, how long until y'all get here? Or, like, can y'all send somebody else? And they were so mean on the phone. They were like, no, 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 we cannot. We cannot help you. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And then, I got another message on my phone. And by that time, it was 6 p.m., right? I had been waiting since 6. And I was like, no, at this point, I need a different person. Because if they come here, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to be mean. I can't. And so, I called insurance. They sent me another one, and that person did get there. And they were really cool to talk to and stuff. They dropped me off at home, and then after that, I had to stay there until I got my brakes fixed and stuff. And then I had to order a new part, so I had to pay some more money. It was really rough. And then I got home like yesterday night. So yeah, that's what happened, guys. That's why I had to miss stream. But wait, let me see what you said about your sister. My sister just learned how to drive back then, and our car hit the garage wall, and the wall was collapsed and made a big. Oh my god, that actually sounds so scary because, like, just thinking about how expensive it must have been to, like, fix the car and the wall, like, that would have been crazy, especially around here. Yeah, yeah, I finally moved in. We don't have Wi Fi yet, so I'm using my hotspot. Well, I don't actually think it's 10. Maybe I'm overestimating. Maybe like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, maybe 8. I don't really know how far away I was. I just know that to me, when I drive, it doesn't seem very far. He was a real hero. And let me tell y'all guys, when I went into the place that had fixed my car first, they had fixed my brakes before, but they didn't fix the part that was kind of broken. They just left it there. I'm like, bro. And that's what made all this happen. And so when I went there, I handed them like the receipt and everything, and I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that this happened while I was on the highway." Like I gave them the whole spiel, right? And then they were looking at me like they were scared, like, "Oh my God, like why are y'all scared? I'm a little girl. I'm not gonna do nothing. Okay, I'm like just fix my car right so that I don't die. Okay, that's all you need to worry about." No, I didn't wait 2 hours in the highway. I waited like since 2 p.m. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I waited like 5 hours on the highway. Yeah, at the gas station, I had to wait a little bit. Yeah, it started raining. My story sounds like a horror story. It kind of was, but I can laugh about it now because I was okay in the end, you know? Don't let the capsule in. Yes, don't let the capsule out, actually. Because the capsule is what helps you brake on your car. But yes, guys, please don't forget to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And stay hydrated. Don't forget that. I'm still glad you're safely went at your new place. Oh, the mechanic issue then? Yeah, it was a mechanic issue. They like left it halfway done or something. And then that all happened because of that. Honestly, I hope it doesn't happen again because if it does, the lady said, if anything, like if you hear a sound, just bring it back to the shop. I was like, bro, why would I bring it back to the place that didn't fix it right twice? Like, I don't know. Yeah, stay hydrated, guys. Yeah, 5 hours. For real, I'm patient, right? I wasn't mean or anything to anybody. 5 hours. I'm glad you are not dehydration. Yeah, I bought myself some. Like, actually, the religious man was really nice because he left to go do something at the bank, like that was right next to where I got stopped. And then when he came back, he talked to me about God. That's when he talked to me about God. Because the first time he came around, he checked my car out. Then he left to the bank. Then he came back and talked to me about God. And then he went to the gas station and he bought me a water bottle. And don't worry, guys. I don't accept random water bottles from random people, but like I saw that the seal was sealed on that water bottle, and I checked it and everything. Nothing was wrong with it. No, you're saying that the policeman like rear-ended her or something? That's messed up. Did y'all sue them? Did y'all get money? Yeah, make sure the water bottle is sealed. Yeah, it was safe. Don't worry. I was fine. Yeah, I had to call my friend. My friend was the one who told me, because I was gonna ask her to tow my car with her truck, but then she was at work, so she told me to keep calling insurance and try to get it like fixed or something, because she said that people like tow trucks, when you go get it done through the insurance, they don't get paid, so most of them are pretty bad about that. And I didn't know that. So I was over here like trusting that the person was gonna get here in an hour, in an hour, in an hour. So I waited until 5 hours and or 6, and then I had to like call again and get a new one. But that's scary. Your girlfriend being like hit by a policeman car, that's crazy. Oh hell no. I'd be so upset. Um have you had like have you ever had like a wait, guys. If you have an e-brake, because that's what I used to stop my car, which is your emergency brake or hand brake on your car. If you put that on, you gotta do it slowly, like little by little. Don't be like me, because what I did was that I fully like reared that back, and then, like if I got lucky by chance, maybe God was looking out for me. I don't know. Maybe I am religious. Maybe I'm like I am in a way. I'm agnostic. Whatever. Maybe I'll learn from God. But you see what happened was my car did not donut. Like whenever you brake out of nowhere like that, all of a sudden with your handbrake, you could go out of control and rotate weirdly. So make sure that you go slowly, like little by little, to brake with your emergency handbrake in your car. Don't do what I did. That's good, Nunu. I'm glad that y'all have that kind of money. I really don't. We just barely were able to afford our apartment, honestly. The problem, the policeman was in a hurry to go to the airport, so when I turned right to pass a stopping bus, the policeman also wanted to pass the bus, but that was my track. The policeman wanted to cut through. Yeah, that's like, you know what I feel like? I feel like he shouldn't have done that. He should have waited his turn, whatever, you know what I mean? Because risking people's lives like that is not okay. Like making risky moves in a car, you never know what somebody's going through. Like me, I had to honk at some people while I was having my accident. And I'm sure like that cop should have like honked at least a little bit or something. Or if it was like heavy traffic, just wait your turn, you know what I mean? Just wait. Because cars are pretty dangerous. You could run people over or like hit somebody else or whatever. Yeah, I know. In a panic condition, it is normal for someone to accidentally pull a handbrake to stop the car. Well, I couldn't stop it any other way, remember, because my brakes were broken. Like, I couldn't brake at all. So I had to use my handbrake, but I was panicking, so I, like, picked it all the way up. Luckily, like I said, my car didn't donut. Like, God was looking out for me or whatever. So, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Road is scary for beginner people. I hate driving for too long. I I'm fine driving if I'm not driving around people who like would make it easy to get into an accident. Cause I actually do like driving and listening to music, but I'm like, you know, scared. Cause around here it's pretty dangerous. I've never taken a bus before. Like unless it's like a school bus for like a school trip, and I've only ever been to like I would say like around 5 or 10 school trips in my entire life. So maybe I should try public transportation once or twice in my life. Because I learned how to, I always had somebody to give me a ride, or like I would just walk. Um, I was gonna say something else about cars. Like, also, guys, don't drive on a flat tire. Don't do that. I did that once when I was first starting to drive, and let me tell you guys, it will ruin your rim, and that's expensive. I'm not gonna lie, that's super expensive. So no scar, or you didn't get hurt from the incident? No, I wasn't hurt at all. Luckily, luckily I was not hurt. I just had to wait a long, long time. And I slept in a really, really hot place. Because I remember where I used to live, I had to spend the night there where I used to live. And I remember how it's really hot and stuff. Um, yeah, I was cooked. I was cooking. I was like, oh my god. And then the cat, remember Gina? The little aggressive kitty? She had kittens. She had like a lot of them. And like, well, not a lot. Like five in total. But like two of them went to homes, and then now she has two more, like a really baby one and one that's getting older, like almost a year. But they're naughty. Like Gina and the orange cat, they're like mean to the baby. I'm like, what the hell, guys? Stop bunny kicking it. Like it's a baby. It's not even grown yet. It's already getting like a little belly flap. But your trauma is real for mental health. You need to refresh yourself. Yeah, actually, when I was driving back home from my parents, I was really worried that my brakes would fall out again. I was like, oh my god, if it happens again, I'm cooked. Yeah, yeah, she had five. Yeah, wait, I'm not naughty. Also, she's not really my cat, she's my sister's cat, so you could say, actually, you know what? She is pretty naughty. I'm only somewhat naughty. Okay? I'm not super, super badly naughty. Just somewhat. Only when I need to be, okay? But yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, I was naughty. Just a little bit. When I was a kid. Water, stay hydrated, guys. Yeah, I don't know anything about cars. Remember, I'm just a bunny. I'm just a bunny. I don't know anything about cars. I just know how to turn it on, drive it, control it, and then um I know now the names of like a piston and a capsule and a brake pad and a breaker fluid container or whatever, and breaker fluid. That's all I know now. And gas, how to put gas in it. Talking about a movie. Oh my god, have y'all heard about Good Boy? Yeah, I do like movies. Have y'all seen Jurassic World? Ah, oh my god, there's so many good movies to talk about. Oh my god. I am so excited for Good Boy. Have you heard about that one? It's coming out in, I think, this year or next. And it's about a dog that sees his owner be haunted. And it's a duck toller. You know how rare those are in media? Oh my gosh. I want to watch that movie so bad. So bad. I'm excited. But you know what? Have y'all seen Jurassic World? What is it called? Rebirth? Is it Rebirth? I forgot the actual title. Like the newest Jurassic World. There is an interesting movie with the title Rental Family that will be coming in November this year. I gotta look that up actually. I'll look it up and I'll look into it because I have not heard about that. Is that coming out like in all theaters? Because I really haven't heard about that one. But I do want to watch Good Boy really bad. The actor is the actor who's starring in The Mummy and The Mummy Returns actor. Oh my gosh! You know, that actor, I had a really big crush on him, actually. He was really good in those movies, The Mummy. Wait, are you talking about, What's that guy who never ages? Not the remake. Jurassic World, the Rebirth. I think it's what it's called, the newest one. I liked it. I like the pretty colors and I like the dinosaurs and I like the raft scene with the dinosaur. I want to own it physically so bad. It's not a remake. It's like a new release. No, it's okay. It happens. Um, have you seen it? You should watch it. It's really good. I liked it. A lot of people don't because they say like all this stuff about it. They're like, "Oh, um, I didn't like this or that." I was like, you know, you could just enjoy the movie. You don't have to like have a big like climactic thing going. They did have climactic scenes, right? But they didn't have like the natural stuff. Right? She was also really pretty. I was like, yeah, the actress was really cool. I liked her. The way that she would talk to him, I was like, oh, girl, you know what you're doing. hmm She was really, really pretty. Me too. You know what? I was gonna make a video about that, but there's no storage in my phone. I'm actually trying to make more room, and I'm gonna finish that dice collection video soon. It's not the best quality, but you know, since I'll be making it every year or every 2 years, it will be better. I haven't seen the third one either. I have seen the second one, the first and the second Jurassic World ones, but the third one I really want to watch it because I did miss it. Um, but I really like the first movie, Jurassic World. The first one is really good, but also Jurassic Park. The first one is really good too. Oh, is your phone battery all right? My phone battery, actually, let me see. 62. Oh, yeah, I'm at 62 on my on my streaming phone. No, see, the one that I'm using to read the chat is actually lower. It's at 55%. And the phone that I'm streaming with right now is at 62. Mm-hmm. Actually, guys, I miss my old phone. I like the stylus was super useful. I like the Motorola stylus. Sad. But it's okay. I mean, I like the Samsung. It's like I had to it was like a learning curve, honestly. Going from a Motorola that you can like shake your phone to turn on the flashlight to a Samsung Android what's it called? Samsung 25, Samsung S25, something like that. Going to that where you can't take your phone to turn on the flashlight, I was like, guys, where are all the accessibility stuff? Like, yes. What did you ever have a Nintendo DS? I actually still have mine. I don't know if they still work very well, but yeah. I really like to like, you know, a lot of people like Mario and stuff like that. I am very adverse, or what's that word? I don't like to follow the hype usually. So usually on my DS, my Nintendo DS, I would get like little games like Puppy Palace or like Pet Horses 2 or the Paws and Claws or whatever. I never got Nintendogs. Stuff like that. Cute games. I did get Kingdom Hearts, and I bet that one was pretty popular. Kingdom Hearts Recoded. And also, what else did I have on there that I really like? I had many more. I had many more, guys. I just lost them all. Imagine Makeup Artist was my favorite. One of my favorites. Talking about smartphones, in 10 years from now, smartphone will be replaced. I'm pretty sure you're right. Technology is advancing super quickly. I don't want a brain computer chip. I don't want I want to like be able to create my own art and also be able to like research stuff like normal. Cause like I feel like if we use AI, we are not learning. Like we're not using our bodies and our extremities, our hands, our brains to the fullest extent that we could be using them at. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if we were like, oh, making robots that like get us our plate or whatever, and be like, hey, Monica, or whatever, whatever you want to say it. You could be like, hey, Monica, get me a plate. If you don't lose your, I mean, if you don't use your muscles, if you don't use your legs, you will lose it, you know? It's called atrophy, muscle atrophy. And it's like how people stop being able to walk, or why people in wheelchairs have to go through physical therapy to build up that leg muscle again to be able to walk again. In California this year, they already sold a flying car. A flying car? True. The future is now. I mean, as long as the flying car is safe, you know, I feel like if they don't crash with airplanes, that's fine. But like self-driving cars, I really no. Because I saw this TikTok of this girl who got into one, and she was like the 10,000th customer or whatever, and she got a free ride to freaking Disney while she was trying to get to work, and she couldn't turn back, and she called customer service, and customer service was like, oh, we can't help you because it drives itself or whatever, and there's no overdrive or whatever until he stops, which is scary. I'm like, yeah, no, I'd rather drive my own car. I don't need a self-driving car. If I get lost, that's my own fault. In the end, all will be doing by robots and AI devices. Human in the future just go to gym and to a party to socialize. No, only for rich people though. Um, if it's only for rich people, fine, I guess. Whatever. I guess. I mean, but if it's like for the public, I mean, like, no, guys, we gotta be able to do our own stuff. Come on. Like me, uh, I want to keep like reading and learning and like using my knowledge and like memorizing it internally, like making it like physical memory so that I don't forget and I keep learning new things. And I'd like, because if you don't use your muscles, which is the brain is a big muscle too, you will lose it. Like, it's scary. I don't want to think about that. I want to like be able to live like a normal life full of like my full physical abilities. Meanwhile, for normal people, they will fight to get a job and compete with robots and AI. Yeah, I mean, that's scary, honestly. I think it's already happening, honestly. You know what? Did I forget to tell y'all? I think I forgot to tell y'all. I think, okay, so remember, no, actually, I don't think I told y'all. Me and my boyfriend, we went to a freaking, Jack in the Box or something like that. And you know what happened? There used to be a window, and then now instead of the window they have the drive-through, right? But the drive-through is not human. It is like an AI thing that you talk to at the drive-through station or whatever. And there's not even a second window to go to. Like you go right to the first window. Like that's crazy. We were like, what the heck? This is some new technology. Okay, some new stuff right here. That is why in the future, the most stable jobs to be safe enough from AI and robots invasion is physical jobs like nursing workers and construction workers and pet groomers. Have you seen those videos? Yeah. I don't think AI could handle it like an aggressive dog. Like imagine an AI trying to clip a dog's nails. No, impossible. Not gonna happen. Like it's already hard enough with people. Yeah, people. There's cats that do get trims and like haircuts and stuff like that. Did you know that? They're definitely used. I've seen the videos. They're aggressive. They're mean, especially when you watch them. Or a dog whisperer. Yeah, something like that. Like the dogs, like yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Like AI could tell you, like, oh yeah, like physically the dog do this and it means that, but like, I mean, you're not gonna stop a dog from biting the robot that the AI inhabits, you know? Like, AI could try its best to trim the dog's nails, but the dog's just gonna be like, "Arr." You know what I mean? But yeah, I I think there's always gonna be a niche, even if AI does prevail and like does become a big thing. There's always gonna be a niche of people who do like and support handcrafted stuff, which I do kind of want to learn how to build furniture because I feel like you have you ever looked at all the old furniture in like the what are they called, the thrift stores or like whatever they're called, antique stores, and they have so much detail and such beautiful designs and stuff like that. And I miss when things were like that, or like when they were actually heavy, when things were made so well, like made to last, because they were heavy and they were beautiful and detailed and very well made. Wait, what? What about us? What, Nunu? What about a bank? A white substance bank? Handcrafted furniture, like DIY stuff? Yeah, like you know how back in the day, people used to like carve wood or like make like very detailed wooden cupboards, like they called them also like plate, I forgot what they were actually called, but like they had like those plate holders with the glass and the lights inside of it, and they were very heavy because they were made to last. They were like, with a little like intricate designs on the wood when you pull it out, like the little handles were pretty too. That stuff is in like antique shops now, and it's so expensive. It's like $700 or more. I'm like, oh, I mean, it's gonna last, but still, if you want to craft that kind of furniture, you have to say goodbye to your smooth and gentle hand because carpenter jobs will be a rough job for hands. No, I understand that. I mean, my hands are already looking pretty bad because I do wash dishes, so my nails are very bad. But I guess I could wear gloves too. I mean, hand creams, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. There's stuff that could be done to prevent that from happening. That's why IKEA is booming all over the world. Yeah, but also that's also why I feel like nowadays you have to keep replacing the furniture because even though IKEA is like really like you get to build it, right? It's very light because it's not made out of like actual wood, it's made out of wood shavings. And that makes it to where it doesn't last as long because it's just basically like small chunks of wood or like small sawdust wood compacted and encased in like this white acrylic or whatever color acrylic it's made out of. I did like I feel like they have to like have a coexisting thing. I do want to like paint stuff too, like the furniture I saw at the antique store, it was really pretty, but the color, like I don't like natural wood colors. I really don't. They seem like too normal for me. I feel like I want it to be colored, but I also don't want to ruin it. So I fear like if I do get something antique like that, I'll just leave it the way it is because it's already very beautifully crafted. Like I don't think I would need to like do anything to it. It is not complete if we don't talk about food. Takoyaki. I've never had takoyaki. What is it like? What is takoyaki like? What's the texture like? The smell, the look of it? Why is my eyeball having a party on the side? Yeah, like me, what I've been eating recently is rice and eggs. Once again, back at it again with the rice and eggs. There's an octopus. I've never had octopus meat either. There's a lot of stuff I haven't done in my life or eaten. There's a lot of stuff I have not eaten in my life. Yeah, that's all I've eaten recently, rice and eggs. Cause like I said, we're struggling with money, and over here, rice is very inexpensive, like not expensive at all, and also eggs might be expensive, but we get a lot of them. I used to eat a lot of bread. I used to love eating bread. Um, I would eat like a bread in the morning or like as a snack whenever I didn't want to really eat a lot or I just wanted something sweet. But no, as of recently, I haven't eaten any bread. Unless it's in like canes or something. Between bread and rice, for me, I feel like rice is more filling because rice has like, you know, what's it called? Fibers and stuff, doesn't it? Like, I feel like rice to me is more filling. Like bread, I feel like it's just like fiber, maybe. I forgot what bread is, like, honestly. Right? I can never be full only eating bread because rice is my daily routine. Has become our daily routine. I miss T-bones. I love T-bone. We had, you know, I would have the breakfast T-bones. Me and my boyfriend went to like a steakhouse and we had like an actual T-bone and I tried I don't remember if it was medium rare or like something rare. It wasn't like the medium one. It was the one between medium and well cooked cuz I usually ate my stuff well cooked. And I tried the like almost rare parts and it was so good. It was so easy to eat. I was like, "Oh my god." You know, making it rare, I've like medium rare or whatever. I feel like it makes it super easy to eat a T-bone cuz T-bones are super thick. Talking about egg, I love my egg with sunny style egg. Yes. I like it like that, but I don't like the yolk. I don't like the yolk because the yolk has like this weird texture to it. You know what I mean? I feel like yolk has the it feels like espeso. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what that word is in English or in another language, but I know that it's very grainy to the like taste. Like it feels weird in my mouth. Like the yolk. I hate it. Omelette is good too, but sometimes the mix is not perfect. I have never had an omelette. Yes, T-bone steak. I love T-bone. So you eat only the white part of the egg. Yes, I do. I only eat the white part of the egg. It's just like I'm telling you right now, like the yolk, the texture is so bad. And also like the taste is kind of bad too. Like it tastes kind of grainy. And it's like also no, I mean, I would. If you made it like scrambled, I would eat it like that. That's Raven Spear is my boyfriend. I eat it, but like only if it's like scrambled in. If it wasn't scrambled in, I would only eat the white stuff. No chorizo for me. Sadly, it's too sweet for me. But I do know what you mean. So whenever you cook an egg, you separate them. He used to, but then I was like, fine, if you mix them, I'll eat it. But if it's like a sunny side up, I will not eat it. I will not eat the yolk if it's the sunny side up. He hates separating them, but he has to with me. Sorry. Chorizo is like Hispanic delicacy, yes. It's very tasted to most, but not to me, sadly. Isn't it like ground beef with like sweet spices or something? It tastes really sweet. Yeah, extra steps. You gotta work hard. But the best part is the yolk. No, it's not, Nunu. No, it's not. I know. Guys. Not y'all bonding over yolk. Yeah, blood pork. Is blood pork? What? Maybe that's why I don't like it. Maybe that's why I don't like chorizo, because of the blood. I guess Robert is a little bit allergic to yolk. Yeah, yeah. No, he knows. I've eaten it. I've eaten the yolk before, but like when it's like, you know, by like scrambled in. Like if it's scrambled, I mean, there's nothing I can do to separate it. I'm gonna eat it. But like if it's a sunny side up, I am not eating that yolk. Well, it's the part that contains the protein, right? Lots of yolks tonight. We're talking about eggs and stuff. So, have you ever heard of an eggless omelet? I have never, but I have also never tried an omelet before. So, yeah. Guys, don't forget to leave a like, please. Wait, there's eggless omelets? Why are you laughing? What do you mean, OMG? It's real? There's eggless omelets? I like pork chops, but that's it. I like pork chops by themselves. What do you mean? Very excellent. Your boyfriend is lucky to have you. He will eat double yolk for his entire life. I envy him. Did you hear that? You're lucky to have me. Yeah. If you like egg yolk so much, you can have mine. Yeah, I will not eat them. I'm gonna be fat forever. No. Excellent. Yeah, no, look, if you scramble it, you don't have to eat it. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I have not eaten yet. But I also haven't had a crepe. I don't know what a crepe is or whatever it is, however you pronounce it. I think it's like a waffle with fruit on it, but I could be wrong. I have never had one. Uh-uh. Yeah, crepes. Crepes. Oh, I've never had like actual crab, but I've had like the crab ragoon or whatever. Not even paella. What is a paella? Yeah, crepes. Yeah. I've never had one of those, and I've never had a paella, and I've never had crab like actual crab. I think. Oh, maybe I did have like one. I think in like Mongolian dish at a Mongolian restaurant. I ate crepes a couple times. It was so sweet and smell fantastic. Oh, fantastic. Ay. I kind of want to try one. I feel like, what was it made out of? Paella looks like fried rice. Oh, what is it made out of? Like, besides the rice. It said, like, made out of... Guys, stay hydrated! Stay hydrated! I'm about to make, like, a funny meme or something. I just thought of something really funny. Hell yeah! Let's stay fun! But yeah. What's it called? Oh, shrimp! I used to love shrimp when I was a kid. Now I'm like, I haven't tried it in a long time. Maybe I'll like it. I know that I stopped eating shrimp for a long time because when I was a kid, I've always been a picky eater. And you know how the shrimp has the little line on it, like the little line down the middle? That scared me, and I thought it was like their like nasty stuff in there. So I was like, yeah, I'm not eating these anymore, and I stopped eating them. But you know, if I try them again now that I'm older, I might like them. Hey, hey. Yes, yes. I am very picky. Look, Yolk, look. Oh, you gotta go? Oh, yeah, he has to go. Aw, bye-bye. Bye. So that is why you said you're a little bit naughty. Yeah, because I'm picky also. You know, back in the day, there was something I didn't like to eat. I would literally just like, tell people like, hey, this is nasty. That's it, like outwardly. That's not okay. You don't say that. Like, one time, have y'all had menudo? Bye bye, Ravensphere. Bye, yolk lover. You hear that? You're the yolk lover now. But back in the day, one time my friend's grandma gave me menudo. Y'all know what menudo is, right? It's like I think it's like pig intestines or something like that. You gotta eat them. Like they're squishy. They're like very. They feel kind of like fleshy, and it's like I don't really like it because it's a little nasty. But menudo, like I said, the texture is pretty not my up to my par. So I gave it to my friend. I was like, hey girl, I tried eating this. I ate half of it. You can have the rest. I was like, just take it. I can't anymore. And she was like, I know. Because she knew I didn't like it. But I still, out of respect for her, because I cared about her, give it to her. I was like, hey, I still try to eat some of it. I always been thought of from I was a kid that I have to eat everything that has been served on the table, so I couldn't be a picky eater. My parents try to do that, and then I like starved myself when I was a kid. I'm very convicted. Like, I have a very strong conviction. Like, if I set my mind up for something, it's happening that way. Like, even like when I was a kid, I was worse. I was like, you know what? I'll starve. Whatever. I guess. I was a bad kid. I was naughty. I would literally, like, my parents would be like, well, eat that, because if you don't eat it, you'll starve. And I was like, bet. And then they started just cooking stuff that I did like. Hello, Clifton. How are you? We're talking about food. But I always tried to not eating freshwater fish. But sea fish is okay for me. Wait, what I haven't eaten fish in a long time actually. What's a good freshwater fish that you have tried? You said you don't like it, but what is one that you have? And also sea fish, which one is your favorite to eat? Bunny be like, give it to her. Yeah. No. No, don't give me yolk. Don't give me yolk. Yeah, like what's something freshwater that you would like? She was convicted indeed. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I don't like beans. And they were like, oh, well, you gotta eat your beans. And I was like, nuh-uh. And then they were like, yeah, huh. And I was like, I'll starve. Whatever, won't make your stomach full, girl. For real. I was really thin when I was a kid. I think that's because of how I was. That I was like, you know what? I'll just starve. I don't care. You don't like any of them. What about sea? You like tuna the best. Actually, tuna is really good. I used to eat tuna with mayo and lemon with like the saltine crackers, and that was really good. That was a really nice snack. You like salmon? Actually, I tried salmon and I think I like it. I think salmon is like one of my favorites. Because my boyfriend cooked it once and I tried it for the first time ever and I was like, yeah, I like that. Especially with like this sauce that he made. But I don't like whitefish. It's very flavorless. I don't know what kind of fish it is. They just called it a whitefish. Wait, salmon is freshwater or saltwater fish? I think salmon is brackish water. So like they're like in between salt and sweet. Salt and fresh. I've never had sardines. Yeah, tuna with mayo and lemon, and then you use saltine crackers, and it's really good. Maybe there is something wrong with me. What kind of snack is that for a tuna? I mean, I had them in sandwiches too. I just don't really like how soggy the sandwiches get. You like catfish? I've never had catfish actually. Is that good? You disrespect my tuna. You disrespect the seawater. Sardine is good for your brain, but the smell is not that good. I feel like, if dogs can eat it, I think, like, I don't know. Because, at work, I have this coworker that feeds her dachshund. She feeds her, like, sardines. I'm like, guys, stay hydrated. I'm like, why are they eating so fancy? You gotta be rich. Dogs eating fancy. Can you believe it, guys? They eat better than I do. Catfish is daily food here. My dad and my mom love to eat catfish. I love cod. Guys, I have never had this much seafood in my comments or my chats ever. I've never eaten any catfish or cod. Oh, y'all raise your own catfish that y'all eat? That's really cool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, guys, please stay hydrated. When I go to a Coney Island restaurant, I get their fish and chips meal. I've never had chips and fish and chips. Usually he will harvest catfishes after 3 months. That's really good. Like the fact that y'all like, you know, restrain from doing it all the time because I feel like if y'all did it every day, y'all would run out of catfish to have. But that's really good that y'all have like some plan on how to like harvest them and stuff. That's really cool. Codfish? Yuck, I had a bad experience with cod. What happened with cod? Let's hear it, Nunu. Let's hear that story. I want to know. I stopped eating fish because I didn't like how the spines got stuck in my throat as a kid. Because I eat my food very fast. Because when I was a child, my parents forced me to take cod oil every day for my nutrients. Yes, fish oil! Oh my god. That brings back traumatic memories. But yeah, so when I was a kid, you know how I was telling you I starved a lot and I was like really naughty and I was really skinny. So my parents would make me take the fish oil so that I would get hungry because they were like, "Oh, they say fish oil makes you hungry." And I was like, "No, fish oil makes me vomit." So I had it. I took it for a while, and then I stopped for a long time, and then I took it again, and then I took it. I stopped taking it completely because I was like, it's doing nothing. I'm still skinny. I'm just suffering more. Yeah, I am a fast eater. That's why I like easy to eat foods. I believe you're skinny. You are a naughty bunny. Yeah, I am. I am a very naughty bunny. I'm still skinny, but I've gained a few pounds since I've been with my boyfriend. I used to weigh 80 and now I weigh 90. So yeah, I'm a little bigger. Guys, this bunny has gotten a little bigger. You must be hyperactive and those energies made you more and more skinny. Yeah, actually, when I was a kid, my dream job when I was like a baby, was for me to be a professional track runner. And then from there, I went to like being a ballerina, then being a tractor driver, then being an artist, then being a writer, then being a constructor, like construction worker, then being a woodworker, then making jewelry, then like I have a lot of dreams, guys. Oh, pound, like is that in kilograms? I think that's in uh pounds. Oh, wait. Hold on, let me look it up. Mm, how many is 40? 40.82 kilograms. I weigh 40.2. Oh, wait. 40.82 kilograms. That's how much I weigh. Oh, besides a singer, you're trying to be a ballerina and track runner too? Wow. Yeah, I had a lot of dreams as a kid. I'm a very big dreamer. So you are 80 pounds means you're about 40 to 41. Around there. Hold on. Did I say 80 or 90? Hold on. Let me see. Yep. 40.82 kilograms. Yes, big dreamer and big gamer. Yeah, I weigh around 40 to 41 kg. hmm I got heavier by 10 pounds, guys. It's okay, I guess. I don't really worry about my weight or anything. I worry more about like my face. I'm like I'm getting up there, guys. This bunny is not infinite. Someday Bunny Rabbit lives will become Bunny Rabbit dies. And we all go. For a Western person, you're still too skinny for only 40 kg, Bunny. Look, I don't know why. Like my bones must be very light. I don't know. Cuz I eat more now. But like I'm just I'm just built like this. I'm a bunny. I'm light. Typical Korean girl group members is about 40 to 45 kg. Oh, seriously? They must be like maybe it's because of how much exercise or physical work I do at work. Cuz I work with dogs, right? Uh boarding and stuff. And so what I'm thinking is all that crouching and stuff. It happens, guys. It happens. We all have to get older. We all have to get older. People always think I'm younger than I am. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, like going down cuz I work with little dogs. So I have to like go down and squat and like lift and carry and like um I have to use my back muscles a lot because I have to scrub floors and the walls and rooms, and there's a lot that goes into it. You know, it's very physical work. Like if you work with dogs, you'll know. It's very very physical. And I constantly gotta be running back and forth trying to carry the dogs because most little dogs don't listen. You're right. Like I don't think I will have enough like if I am to go like that, I don't think I'll have time to be like, oh, Bunny Rabbit dies. So my time will always be Bunny Rabbit lives. You're right. Dang. Dog walker is popular side job in New York, I believe. Well, I don't walk dogs. So if you have a dog, you bring it over to where I work. What I do is say you're away from home for a week. For a whole week, I will be feeding your dog, taking your dog outside, putting them back inside, replacing blankets, replacing bed sheets, changing their water bowl, stuff like that. Hello, yo mama! Welcome back! You missed the whole food conversation. Now we're talking about dreams and jobs and how small I am. So that is called dog groomer. No, I do dog boarding. Dog groomers, they cut the hair, they bathe them, brush dogs and stuff like that, and cats too. Yes, we have a long haired chihuahua that can jump 4 feet up in the air. Oh, is it like a papillon? I love chihuahuas. I had one. Well, I had two. I had one named Tito and one named Sunshine. Sunshine stayed very young because the person who we bought her from when I was a kid lied about their shots, and she was a parvo puppy. Yeah, dog boarding. That's what I do. It doesn't pay very much, but it makes me happy. His name is Poncho. Poncho, that's cute. The downside having pets is you can't go to holiday for too long. I mean, that's what my job is there for. If you have to go to holiday for like a month, we take care of your dog for a month. Like that's what my job does. So you can't go for a long period of time. Like one time we had a dog stay for like a month and 2 weeks. It was crazy. But me, honestly, I would want to give my dog like a what's it called? A passport or something so he can come with us. All right. Let me see. My father is retired now from his job, and now he has so many animals for his small barn and ranch. Oh, y'all have a ranch? That's nice. What animals do y'all have? I can chat for I would say 5 more minutes. Or what do y'all think? We could chat for 5 minutes and then I can go. Cause my throat is getting pretty like tired. Gooses, chicken, ducks, catfishes, and 4 cats. I wonder if the cats eat out of the catfish pond. Gooses, chickens, and ducks. That's nice. I like the little bird ones. The baby ducks are cute. We used to have ducks. We also had chickens that could fly when I was little, like very young. I had a black one, and they said it was mine, and I was so happy for her. And then like I left the window open once and she like flew out and I felt so bad. Yeah, like, but you know, bunnies and rabbits are so sensitive. Like, they can die of a heart attack if they're scared. Like, we had two of them, but they passed away because they were scared of our dog. So we stopped getting them. We were like, nah, we can't get any more. And my dad made me eat my own bunny when I was a baby. I was a kid and I ate my own bunny. I felt so bad. Okay, okay. Ducklings indeed cute. Yes, very cute. We had baby ducks that we raised up, and then, sadly, we can't have edible pets in my household. Because when I was a kid, we ate them. Oh my god, I feel so bad. We used to have some exotic birds too, but my mother is sick of taking care of it and released all of them. What? So you mean like what's it called? Parakeets and stuff? I think you know what? At 15 I was gonna leave. You ate them? What the? Yeah, I know. I was a kid. I didn't know. I was really mad. I was like, "What do you mean? They were my babies. I raised them." I was so mad. Yeah, like I didn't know we were gonna eat them. I was really mad. I was like, "What do you mean I ate it?" Ah! I need to start sitting down. I have to go to another winning setup at a arbitrarium. Can you give me a sign out? A wedding. Oh, all right, yo mama. It was nice seeing you here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that you have a great day, yo mama. And I hope that you get to have a very fun time at that wedding, even if you set it up. I hope you have fun setting up and being at the wedding. Yes, 2 minutes. Well, 1 minute now. But yeah. Okay then, you're still coughing, so I hope you keep drinking your warm water. Yeah, I'd like my throat is actually getting kind of tired, so I have to you know, drink water like you said, maybe eat something. But yeah, it was very nice chatting with y'all, reading for y'all. And if y'all want to see like a full summary of everything that I've talked about and everything that I've read in this book, Don't Let the Forest In by C.G. Drews, I have linked the playlist in this video. So, yeah, that's for anybody who has come in late, and y'all can watch it from the beginning, chapter 1. You're welcome! It was nice chatting, guys. I'm glad you're still healthy after that horrific incident. Thank you so much. I am very happy too, and so is my boyfriend. And his friend too. Bye bye, yo mama! Bye bye! It was nice chatting with everybody. Stay hydrated, have a great day or night, and